Hi, welcome along to AFTV. We are here looking forward to the big game tonight. It's Arsenal versus Ipswich Town. Joining me to see if we can decipher what the starting 11 is going to be. We've got Lee Judges. You got enough room there?
Not really, no.
Right, we got Turkish and we got Julian in the building. And we're looking ahead at sort of the last game, isn't it, of this sort of busy Boxing Day stroke the next day period.
Yeah, I've been busy really, like quite sort of, normally you have 2 or 3 games in this, don't you? Remember they used to play Boxing Day and then the 28th or the 29th and then one New Year's Day, but we just seem to have didn't have a game Boxing Day. So we've had a nice break since Crystal Palace and then we've got a nice little break till Wednesday now as well, like,
yeah,
you know, so...
Can't argue about
No, it's been pretty good. I know it gets a bit quicker after that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a quite comfortable Christmas for us, really.
Yeah, and it's going to play on Christmas Day as well, if I remember rightly. Christmas Day and then Boxing Day.
Did you go?
Yeah, of course.
What year was this?
I don't remember Christmas Day.
No,
I think it was back in the 70s. Yeah, I remember going to see Arsenal play Watford on consecutive days with my dad. A vague recollection, but I was probably only about 6 or 7 at the time.
I used to do that, didn't they?
Yeah.
Christmas Day and Boxing Day.
Yeah, like in American sport, they do they had all the NBA games are on
see
Christmas
that.
Day. I'm glad they don't do that here, man. I mean, Christmas Day, you want that day off, and I'm glad that we didn't have a game on Boxing Day either. I'd say I was just at home.
It's nice, yeah. Chill, enjoy it.
Number one, I've been sick, right? It's the last couple of days.
What's that then?
A bit of flu, man.
Is it
something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Nothing from, you ain't brought nothing back from Africa.
No. Well, if I have, right?
You're going to give it to us?
I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's about the only thing you will give us. No Christmas present. Nothing like, you know what I mean?
What you got for me? You know what I mean? I'm the one who's come back. You're supposed to be having it.
I kept ringing you and you weren't answering. You must have been ill.
You never rung me once. By the way, big up to everybody in Sierra Leone. What a wonderful country. The watch party there was insane. It was absolutely brilliant. We loved every minute of it. We got to meet the president, who's a big Man United fan. Obviously, he ain't going to be too happy right now. And the First Lady, who's a massive, massive Arsenal fan. And that's why she asked to meet us. And it was such an incredible experience. But the fans over there were absolutely incredible. Arsenal fan base around the world.
It's mad.
It's mad, you know. Trust me.
And you've been everywhere with it, because you've
been
Asia
and
as well.
You know what? It's the knowledge of them Turkish, right? It's the fact that like they've got all this. The amount of times I heard North London Forever.
Yeah, I see that.
By the fans,
all the kits, aren't they? They've got all the kits.
Got all the kits, incredible, man. So that was brilliant. But now that we're back here, you know what's going to be interesting is obviously no Saka.
How we deal with that?
How do we deal with that? No Saka. What would you do?
Ranieri would be my choice. But
interesting.
Yeah, because it's interesting. Everything else isn't interesting. Martinelli on the right. I know people have...
But he did all right against Palace.
Yeah, but that's all we're working off here. We're really forcing it because really, even with Saka, we're looking at our attack and saying, who else but Saka? Now it's no Saka. It's like, I need some sort of injection of excitement. I feel like that Martinelli excitement's gone now. Trossard excitement's gone now. Sterling, there was never no excitement. Aside from the last 2 hours on deadline day. So I feel like Ranieri would be the exciting choice. But it won't happen. You just asked me what I would do.
What would you do?
I'd be with Turkish on that. I'd have Ranieri, but maybe not for the reasons that you've said, because I'm still very excited by Martinelli. He's one of my,
Why is that?
Because I think he's a very exciting player. I think
when was the last time you was excited by him?
When I last saw him. I was very excited seeing him on the right. I thought he put in some great crosses. He set a goal up and he scored. That, for me, excites me.
Okay.
He did do it.
Yeah.
He's right, though, in that game. He had a goal and an assist.
Well, I can't believe he's got a lot of stick after that.
He doesn't deserve stick after. He done very well. He done very well in the cameo. But, I mean, like, Martinelli's been one of our biggest underperformers for a year and a half. What you think? 20 minutes against?
No, but I thought it was a base for him to do well. It started like when people say like there's not much more you can do and score and assist in a game of professional football.
As a wide player,
As a wide player, and he's done that.
And he tracks back. He does it. He does everything.
I thought he'd done all right there. Listen, he's no Saka. We know that, but I think that you've got to give him a go there today.
No,
I would.
No, I actually wouldn't. I'd go with Turkish on that, but for a different reason, as I said. Not because I'm not excited by Martinelli, because I am, because against a team
like... Where are you playing Martinelli?
I wouldn't play him today. I'd rest him. I'm not dropping him. I'm resting him.
I'd rest again, though.
No, you like a rest, don't you?
I like a rest because otherwise you get to the Saka situation.
Christmas pudding
you get to the Saka situation, and
what Saka situation?
Saka situation is we're probably not going to see him again this season.
Yeah, but then
because
that could happen in training.
could happen in training, but the more you play,
Now,
the
that's,
more
that's crap,
chance.
Julian, because
It's not.
where was he on? Where was he on Wednesday?
What I'm saying is,
Where
the
was he
more
on
you
Wednesday?
play, is
When did he play? Where did he play on Wednesday against Crystal Palace?
he
Where did he play?
He didn't play.
He
He
was
didn't
subbed. He was
play.
rested.
So
But
he's
it's not
rested. So it
just
doesn't-
about
it can
one
happen at
game.
any stage.
It can happen, but the more you play them, the more fatigue they get, the more chance they are of getting
So
a
what do you do
long-term
then?
injury.
Don't play him half the season?
No, I'm just saying don't run the boy into the ground, which I think
Right,
he has
I
been.
don't think. Yeah, right.
We ain't running.
I know.
When was the
In,
last
yeah.
time we played?
yeah, I know. Like
I hear what you're
last
saying.
season and that people are accusing Arteta of playing him, overplaying Saka.
Nice.
You can't say that this season.
No, I think you can.
Yeah, you
you
can.
can?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's just running off the back of all these seasons we've been banging him
Yeah.
out, you know? Like, it's not like there's been a reset there for Saka. We bring him on 3-1 up against Preston. Why? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
that's
we've
something I
always
agree with.
asked for a backup.
Who's played more
it's-
minutes
it's
this season,
cumulative.
Salah or Saka?
I would say Salah.
Probably
hasn't missed a
Salah.
game.
Salah's not missed a minute, right? He plays all the time.
And he might get injured next week.
Could do. That's
Yeah.
how football goes.
It
you
is
know-
how
but
it
you
goes.
know
The
Your
more they
best
play,
player, I'll say this time after
Yeah, but
time
he
after
yeah.
time.
But Saka
And-
has played in the summer, Robbie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
and
difference.
with the Saka thing, right? Like you said last week, right? The game on the Wednesday, he didn't play. He was rested, right? Then they played him on the weekend. He got the injury about 20 minutes into the
That
game.
does happen a lot.
Can happen.
But
he
it's,
come on
it's,
against-
it's,
did he come on
it's
against
cumulative. He
he
hasn't
come
had a
come
rest.
on.
And he's
Why?
also quite a young boy, and he's still growing.
Level at a time we come.
I just think, all right, it's Salah's record. Like, Salah's
you don't
record.
want
There's
to rest.
there's certain players out there. Like even if you look at Messi's career, and Salah's one of them. The injuries are few and far between.
But that's been the same with
Them
Saka.
issues, it has been the same.
and hopefully it'll
but
continue.
If Salah does get injured, let's say, Gakpo's banging in goals. Diaz has had a patch this season. They've got Jota, you know, who
Well, we've got
scores up
Martinez.
front. They've got Nunes
Martinez
who
come on, don't
causes
they?
problems.
And Jesus
Whereas
is
our max
scoring.
in attack aside from Saka is the Nunes calibre of that.
But then the guy that came in for him, who then scored and assisted, you're saying he should be left out?
No, because he can
Because
start.
you just spoke
he
about
can start
guys
on the
who
left.
came in.
He can start on the left. I don't necessarily want to see Trossard starting either. I haven't been impressed by him. I'd probably go Martinelli on the left, Ranieri on the right,
Yeah, I
and
see, so,
Jesus up top.
But you don't need Martinelli. If Martinelli's going to be your player that fills in for
Martinelli's
Saka
no Saka though.
All right, I
Who-
think
none of
I've
them
got the
are
11. I
already.
think I've got the 11 already, yeah.
What?
Or this is according to our guys in social, and they're very, very accurate. They never ever get it wrong.
We're
If you
about
have-
to find out.
You guys get this wrong, man. I'll tell you, right? Everyone's fired, bro. You know what I mean? I'm only joking, right? This is the team: Raya in goal, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel. On the left-hand side,
He's going to go revert to Calafiori.
No, he ain't.
No, he's
No?
not. No, he's not.
oh, you saw it. Who you got?
I'll go for Miles Skelly.
Mars Lewis Skelly
Nice,
on the
I like
left-hand side.
I like that.
Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, and Kai Havertz
I said
Okay.
he'd do that.
midfield.
Yeah.
And then Gabriel Martinelli on the right hand side, Jesus down the middle, and Trossard on the left.
It's Ipswich at home.
Yeah.
So a lot of attacking
This one
players
ain't-
in that
this-
team.
That's the exact team that I would have gone for, but I would have put Calafiori.
You're
in.
saying a lot of attacking players. He hasn't really. This is the safest
Listen,
option
they're
he can
going
go
to
for.
they're going to be very defensive tonight.
He likes to put
You
Akeem
need that
Havertz
attacking
in
option.
there.
So
He's
Kai
kept
coming in there
Trossard
as
and
a attack.
Martinelli. It's
I
just-
thought that when we played that against Palace, we was too open in midfield. But against Palace, that went for it a little bit. But this team's going to sit in there, so I think we need the extra attack. And also, by putting Declan Rice in there, he can cover that.
I
area
don't think it's
little
a good
bit better.
indication for Brentford and Brighton away, the next two. Like I said, this is Ipswich home.
Yeah, it's a different, team in that.
If that's the idea without Saka,
Well, having said that, he's probably going to juggle it around anyway for those.
but how can he do? Because
He's got to be a
the
little bit
only
more
other
tight when he goes to
option he has
Brentford
is
and,
Ranieri or Marino. That's the only other options he has, and he hasn't relied upon them at the best of time this season either.
The
Even
next two
Marino.
games, the midfield should be Partey, Rice, and Odegaard.
We'll see.
You won't have Marino in there.
Marino
He-
or
Is
or
part
Kai
so
Havertz.
Party's not playing?
Bench
No.
probably.
No, he's
No,
he's sub.
That's the team that's been given early to
Yeah,
me
we
by
ain't
the
got it
social
released
guys.
properly yet.
I don't have an
bench-wise.
indication of the bench, but once the official sort of announcement comes through, but that's the team that they're telling me. And as I said, those they're normally very, very accurate. Would you be everybody happy with that team? Then?
I think today, because of, I wouldn't be. I thought we got exposed with Kai Havertz in midfield. He had to change it in the second half, and he brought Rice on, and we shored it up. I think today is a game that where you can be a little bit more expansive in midfield. But so I'm happy with that. But I knew he'd played.
I also think it's perfect. Leicester at home, Southampton at home, Ipswich at home. You've had problems with Odegaard, you've had problems with Saka. Trossard and Martinelli have been letting you down consistently. Havertz hasn't lived up to the second season that we all wanted. Where's Ranieri? Injection. Give us some excitement. That's what I'm talking. If we can't do it against Ipswich, Leicester and Southampton at home, Brentford and Brighton away, we're not going to get that.
So you're saying, really, I wouldn't argue that if you were saying it was going to be Ranieri, Odegaard and Rice today.
Yeah, I feel like he should have tested the waters a bit more.
That's what I would have done, because you need to give him a go. You may well be needing him, so you need to start him.
You put him over to the right?
I'd put him on the right.
So who's your midfield then?
I'd have exactly the same midfield. The only thing I'd have differently is I wouldn't have Martinelli in the team. I would have Nwaneri in that position.
I actually think Ranieri on the right with Havertz in midfield.
Why wouldn't you have Martinelli playing today after?
Because I want to give him. I don't want him to be overplayed either, and I think we're going to need him.
Yeah, but he's been in and out the side for 18
months.
he's
he's not going to be in and out now. I think he's going to be.
You're playing Ipswich at home. You've got to get goals.
Well, yes, but I think we can get goals without him, and you can always bring him off the bench if it's not working.
Yeah, but you have
when are you playing him then?
I'll play him in the next game. Yeah.
Yeah, but
play him next game, because the amount of games we've got coming up in January, we're playing twice a week.
Yeah, but we haven't got no cover.
And he needs to start banging goals.
Exactly.
The only attacking option we've got now is Ranieri.
So if Martinelli, if any of them gets injured now, then we really are down to
get Ranieri get injured. Then is that what you're saying?
No, because he hasn't had the level of games. I don't want any of them to get injured, but you've got to start, giving all of them a bit more minutes.
Yeah, but Martinelli's not the same, Julian. He doesn't play the same game time for Brazil as Saka does for England. For Arsenal,
no, but he's got
Trossard started many
so he's not used to it. His body's not used to it. So if he's got to play every game suddenly, he's had his injury problems. I don't think you can play him every game.
He also needs to prove himself.
No, Martinelli.
I think he come in and out.
Yeah, I think you need.
Listen, as I said, I just named out the 11, right? It's going to be interesting to see what the actual formation up front is. Will it be Martinelli on that left-hand side? Could it be could it be Jesus on the right?
Nah,
you know what I mean? Who knows? You know what I mean? Could Martinelli be playing on the left wing?
No, I think it's exactly as you said it.
On the right.
It's exactly as you said it was going to be.
Martinelli right.
Yeah, Martinelli right.
Shocked if Martinelli's not playing on the right. Shocked.
We'll have to wait and see.
I think now this is the time for him to shine. He's got to come in. I think for Martinelli now, right, this is how I would see it. If I'm in now, like, it's always been like, oh, Saka, off you come, Saka, you carry on playing. Now's your opportunity. So we're going to get a good run in the team, probably going to finish games, which is where 10, 15 minutes from the end of games, when he's worked his socks off, if the game opens up a little bit, he's having to come off. This is his time now. And I know, like, Turkish ain't happy about that. But like, he has got to. I think I'm going to go down on Turkish's route path here. It's now or never for him now. He's got to. This is his time. Saka's not playing. You're the next train. You're the next cab on the rank. You have to come in and be the man. And I think he will be.
Yep. Super chat from Nathan. He says, "Love Saka, but they put too much pressure on the poor kid."
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm sorry, man.
No, they do. He's still human.
Doesn't matter what we're not even halfway through the season.
But he hasn't had a break.
Right? He hasn't played in the League Cup games. And if he does, he comes on for about the last 10 minutes. He hasn't. Well, we hadn't even got to the FA Cup games yet, right? You know what I mean? Your best player plays.
He's not our best player now, though, is he?
Salah plays. Yeah? You don't see them leaving out Salah. You don't see them leaving out Van Dijk, right? You don't see, you know what I mean, all these top teams, when they've got their best player, they don't leave out Cole Palmer. Those guys play unless they're carrying an injury. And there was no indications, and there's been nothing that he's been carrying an injury.
Well, he had a hamstring injury a few weeks
ago. And
he
got injured. I would have understood it if he got, because funny enough, Eze got injured in the game on the Wednesday, the League Cup game, which then meant he was out for the actual game at the weekend in the Premier League. Saka didn't play in that game, just came on for about the last 10 minutes, right? Just to get, they do that sometimes, just to get a little run in.
It was 1-1 when he came on.
Right? Was he coming for about the last
20 odd minutes?
Yeah.
Well,
Right, so
we needed him. If we wanted to progress into that round, he needed to come on and do what he'd done. And he created and whatever.
So to me, I don't put no blame on the medical team or anything for his injury.
No, it's just unlucky.
It's just one of those things.
He's one of those things. He ain't run. He's actually kicking the ball. It's just one of those things.
One of those things that can happen.
If he'd have been rested for 3 weeks,
it
wouldn't have mattered.
It could still happen.
That thing, it just
I don't agree.
No, I don't agree.
I don't agree with
And
that.
I've taken medical advice on this.
Right, so he's been rested for 3 weeks. So there's no chance of getting any injuries.
No, there's a chance. There's a chance.
There's always a chance.
Every time you go out, you've got a chance of getting injured.
There is less chance if he hadn't been played for the level of games he's been played. And he's still really young. People forget, 'cause he's been around for so long, how young he is. And the body's still forming.
I agree with you. When he should have been rested, when that first game of who did we play first game of the season?
Wolves?
Was it Wolves? He should never have played in that game. He'd only just come back from international.
Yeah, they put him straight in.
Yeah, he should have been given a proper rest, and that's what maybe has caught up on him a little bit.
Gunner 14 says Salah is in the final years, right? He's in his final
6
years,
months,
right? Whereas so he's going to play. Saka's 24. Surely it's supposed to work the other way around. When you're getting older, you can't play as many games.
It's what he's saying.
He's 24. You're in the prime of your powers, right? Fitness-wise, right? He's not like an older player where you've got to start, managing your minutes and stuff like that. If you're fit enough to play, you ain't carrying a bad injury, and you're the best player in the team.
There's a lot of injuries at the moment, Rob, though. There's got to be a reason for a lot of these injuries. Like a lot of players, look at Tottenham, they're decimated with injuries. Manchester United have got their what's his name? Mount keeps coming back and getting injured.
Yeah, but we're talking about very injury-prone players, aren't we?
Yeah, Saka over the last year hasn't been exactly healthy, is he?
No,
how many games has Haaland been rested for? I think I saw...
Doesn't play in that same way.
I saw yesterday's game, right, that he's played every single Premier League game, every single minute of Man City this season. Should they rest him?
I think
you rest him as well if you have him.
think he's
because he doesn't play in the same way. He's not. He hasn't got explosive speed like Saka.
What? Haaland has not got explosive speed.
Haaland's also built very differently.
Oh my God!
They're built differently.
How many more excuses are you going to make up? Cozy says, keep playing Saka and he'll break before he's 30. Honestly, look around the Premier League, people, and look at some other players at other clubs when it's their main guy.
I'll tell you,
if they're fit, they play. If we've been playing them in League Cup games and every game going, I understand.
I'll tell you where this theory doesn't work. And it's someone that we know quite well in Reece Nelson. Reece Nelson hardly played, right? He got into the Fulham team, he had 4 or 5 games and he ripped his hamstring horrendously. We see him, didn't we? He couldn't even walk, right? That's not because he's been overplayed or whatever. It's just, I don't know. I don't think there's any expert can put their finger on it. He's only played a handful of games and it's happened.
Yeah, but you're really a fully grown man in your late 20s. Let's get that right. 26, 27, 28. That's when you're a fully grown man. And we've played the kid week in, week out for 5 years now. It's not like a Salah situation where Salah's minutes were managed a lot better younger guy in a lesser league. And then he came to the prime time of the league. Saka was born in the prime time of this league, and he was born into putting us on his shoulders at times. So I don't think it's been fair on Saka.
How many games has Sterling played this season?
He's hardly played any games. Oh. And I'm going to tell you...
He's ready to play now, right?
Okay, so...
He should be fit and prime. In his prime. He's no problem.
I'm going to tell you...
He's hardly played with fully rested.
I've got an inside track on Sterling as well, because I did a bit of research and spoke to a contact about him. Apparently, he's got a chronic injury, and he was playing with injections at Chelsea, and they were managing his minutes. And one of the reasons why he was, I say cheap, that Chelsea were prepared to do what they did is because Arsenal knew he had a chronic injury and he was never going to be coming and playing regularly here. He was literally just going to be coming, get the odd 20 minutes out of him because he's got the experience and he is a good player, but he's carrying an injury. It's a chronic injury and his career's going nowhere.
What injury is that?
I didn't find out what it is, but I've been told he's got a chronic injury. I can find out for next.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Probably fatigue.
No, it's chronic injury.
Privraj, I hope I pronounced that right. He says, Robbie, Saka and Rice played 7 full games for England in the Euros.
That's the problem.
And had no proper break this year. Even Rice is not the same as last year because of the low. But Rice, again, has been rested a lot this season.
That is the problem. I do believe it's not so much the games, it's the recovery. They didn't have enough recovery time between the Euros.
They hardly
and
had any, did they? A couple of weeks.
Yeah, not enough. You've got to have a lot more than that.
It's a mental thing as well.
Yeah,
Go
I
from one
agree.
thing to another.
And I think it's no coincidence that all these players. You know, Foden is not the same player, is he? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, he didn't do anything in the Euros either.
well,
Yeah, but he played in the
M4
Euros.
says, if you're going to compare, then look at age. Salah wasn't playing these minutes at his age at this level. Look at Rooney, Owen, Hazard, Rashford. This is what happens to youngsters that they don't get
Yeah.
a rest.
Yeah, and Wiltshire. It's a great example.
Well, yeah, Rooney had a good career, man.
He,
You know what I mean?
he
So
tailed
did
off
Michael Owen.
massively towards the end. And Michael
Towards the
Owen,
end, like,
if you
no,
talk
well,
about Michael Owen,
let's
that's
wait
a
until they
great,
get there,
that's
you
a
know, we
great
buy someone
example
else.
of one that started brilliantly and then just faded. Michael Owen.
hamstring.
I mean,
injuries.
Yamal. He
Yeah,
played in the
but
Euros right up to the final. He hasn't missed a game for Barcelona.
They're
this
going to have
season.
problems with him if they
Yeah.
continue relying on him like that.
Tim Gallagher says, Julian, the sports scientist.
Well, thank you.
Blacko says, getting a feeling Martinelli will step up today. Hope we be ruthless and take our chances in the first half itself and not be chasing goals in the second half. Now, of course, we got the game in front of us. Forget all the injuries and stuff like that. An absolute must win, especially when you saw the results yesterday. All right, I know Liverpool still won, so they're still flying high at the top. We'd expected them to beat Leicester, but there's some surprise results yesterday. You know what I mean? The Chelsea one was a surprise, seeing them go down at home. Chance for Arsenal to move into second place, Turkish.
Yeah, but all I care about is the Liverpool results, and then Liverpool won again. You know, so we've got to win to make sure the gap remains what the gap is at this moment in time, and
Which we did if Arsenal
and
win.
hope for next time.
Yeah, if Arsenal win, the gap would be 6 points.
Fulham have done well,
But
by
they got a
the way.
game in hand.
Fulham have beaten Chelsea, drawn with Arsenal, and drawn with Liverpool.
Yeah.
Look at Everton. When
Everton
everyone
have
was
done
laughing at us at that Everton draw, they drew.
They were
They
drawn
drew
Man
with
City.
Chelsea and City.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bournemouth have done. They drew to us.
Yeah.
beat-
And look what Forest did. Or was that a surprise, beating Spurs? I suppose it was a surprise.
No.
They only beat them by 1 goal.
No,
Yeah,
that wasn't a
maybe.
surprise. Annie says, hi Turkish, Merry Christmas to you and yours.
Love.
And Jason says, Arteta said that Sterling had a knee injury in his press conference.
Yeah, he picked up a knee injury while training. Look, listen, injuries can happen. I agree with the lads here who are saying prevention can help, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's. Sometimes it's, you know, like Saka. It's no coincidence Rice has not been. They've not been at it as much as they ever see because they haven't had a good enough rest. 2-3 weeks, not long enough. Not long enough.
Josephine says, I'm sorry, but no one criticises the Sterling signing enough. He was our attacking signing. How? Question to the panel, would you take Cunha in January? I think everybody knows the answer to that. There's just no way, though, Wolves are in a relegation battle are going to sell their best player in the January transfer window.
No.
Not when you think about the amount of money that's at stake for staying in this league, the difficulty of getting back into this league if you go down, what happens to all them other players you've got on big wages. I mean, they're just not going to sell him. But he'd be a good signing, wouldn't he?
Yeah, there's enough release clauses out there for me not to worry about Cunha right now. I like Cunha, I'll take him. But January striker, Gyökeres, Osimhen, that's it. One of them.
Which one?
I don't care. I really don't care. We need a striker. Arteta talks about this is a good exercise without Saka. A good exercise would be play a 9. How's that for a good exercise?
Oh, but which one? I'm asking
I
you a
don't
question.
care, Rob. They're both
No, but
upgrades
you
on
need
the
to
attack.
put a name on it, you know what I mean? Like,
Listen, they both have
Put a
qualities that
name
we
on it,
miss
man.
in
Which one do you
abundance.
want?
I'm putting 2. Hey, you're asking me
give
for
me
one.
a-
I'm putting
yeah.
2
You give me
release
2
clauses.
out of the 2 because I don't want like what I wouldn't want to happen, right? We go and get one now, and you say, why did we get him after a few months?
Either or.
Which one out of them? Because I remember I was watching the game last night.
Gyökeres, there you go.
Yeah, watching the game last night, right? The game Liverpool-Leicester.
Yeah.
And a name that you named out to me one time in Patson Daka.
Yes, when we're
Mr.
talking about
Absolute
Eddie and
sitter.
Ketia, should we do this?
Eddie and Ketcher's better than him.
How are you saying Eddie's better than him? Eddie's
Did
on
you
the
see that?
bench
Did you
at
see that
Palace.
chance that he missed?
How are you saying Eddie still?
Did you see the
This
chance
is
he
an
missed?
age-old argument we've had. Daka
Did you
and
see
Eddie.
the
You know,
chance he
Daka's on
missed?
top. You know, Daka's got 1 Premier League goal
That's
this
because he
season,
plays all
and
the
Eddie's
time.
got 0, right?
Did you see that with chance?
I saw the chance he missed, but
I
did you
think-
see the chance Eddie missed from the halfway line the other day? Don't tell me you didn't see that.
I
Man
think
running
with all
through
the games coming
Yeah, I was
Let's not
watching
even.
it. The TV in Sierra Leone started to go a bit
Yeah,
funny.
yeah,
so
of course it
With
did.
all the games coming up, and we've got a lot
He
of
lost you
games in
50
January.
quid, Eddie. You might as well shout at him to get that back.
With all the games coming up, we've got a lot of games in January.
Got to sign
Arsenal
some.
have to go into
No, one thing I'm with Turkish on, man, we do need to sign a striker.
or I don't know about striker, but we need an attacking option.
Yeah,
Striker.
Let's just do the
but a
striker
lot of them
now,
can
man.
play.
I think it's- there's
A
loads
lot
of
of them can
players that
play in
can
different
play wide.
positions. They can play wide. They can play mid. Look at Jesus. He can play in the middle. He can play wide.
Striker.
But he is a striker.
Who?
Jesus, and he can also play on the wings.
Clinical striker.
That's what Arteta likes. Arteta likes players that can play in multiple positions, which really helps us out when we get in these
No, he's
situations where
looking
we've
for
got
strikers.
injuries.
So he's after that Sesko in the last transfer window.
We didn't get him.
Apparently.
Yeah, so now go and get a striker. That's one thing
But
I do
who
agree
do you
with
get
Turkish.
if they're not going to be available?
What is
What are
it?
you
Then
saying,
if
man?
Arsenal
I
has
just
a
said
release
there's
clause on Corcoran.
Why is there people like you that just argue for no reason? There's 2 strikers there, Julian.
Yeah,
We
right.
don't have a striker. Jesus is not a striker.
Well, he scored
Havertz
goals.
is not he scores. Gabriel scores goals.
Well, that makes them a striker, doesn't it? They
So
play.
Gabriel, our centre back, is a striker.
No, but they can
So
score
he scores goals.
As long as we score goals,
Gabriel's
as a
got
team,
more goals than
doesn't have to
Jesus.
come through one player.
Like, what are you saying? Do you support us? Do you want us to get better?
Yes.
So,
But also
why
want-
is 2 strikers there? Yokeres
what
80
you're
mil
saying is
and
someone can
Osimhen
play
60 mil.
Yeah.
front
What are
end.
you saying?
It doesn't
here?
matter where the goals come from, as long as the goals. I don't need to. We don't need to have an Ian Wright type striker.
Aston Villa, first half last season, we should have been 2-0 up. We wasn't. We lost the game. It cost us end of the season. West Ham, 30 shots last season. We didn't score a goal. We lost 2-0. It cost us the league last season. Fulham, the other Aston Villa game. These are the games that mattered come May.
And you
Not the other games where Havertz might have got 12 or Jesus might have got 7 or Saka got 5. In the end, we look back at the ones that cost us. And in those games, we weren't clinical enough.
And
And
that's-
we've shown that this season again. Bournemouth, Brighton, Newcastle, the other night. Over and over again. And you're going to sit here. There's 2 release clauses. There's no excuses. Why are there fans like you here? I don't get it.
Because
Just not just in life. Like, I don't understand.
So let me have my say then. All right. So you picked out a game. That sequence.
game?
A sequence of the games you're looking at is there was 20 games. We won 18 of them. We drew 1, and we lost 1. And you are talking about one half of football where we were superb. We were really good, and things didn't quite go
What
our
half are
way.
you talking about, Aston Villa?
The half against Aston Villa.
What
That
about
first
West Ham?
half.
30 shots, no goals, at home, 2-0 loss. What about that one?
And for every
What about
for
the other
every
Aston Villa
for every
loss?
game you come up with these examples.
What
There was
about
plenty of
Brighton?
other games where we put the ball in the net, we won the game. Our record at the end of that from
We scored
from
more
after the
goals than the
games.
Invincibles last season. We didn't win the league.
Well,
It
then-
doesn't matter.
Well,
It doesn't
it does
matter.
matter.
So what are you going to tell your kids
it
about in
does
10
matter,
years? The
Julian, because
Invincibles
you're
or
scoring
the
a lot of
90-goal
goals
season or whatever it
against
was?
teams where it don't matter. Like you're scoring 5 against West Ham,
That's to go to the
6
game, man.
against 6 against West Ham, 5 against Sheffield United. You could win them 2-1. It is those killer games. I do agree with what Turkish is saying, the killer games, but you're not saying we don't need a striker, an attacking option. Though, are you?
No.
No, but why?
But
are
I'm
you
saying
playing
it
that?
doesn't
Why are you
have
playing
to
that?
be.
Let me do a couple of super chats.
Go on.
Abiola says, I don't know, I didn't know that Julian and Turkish had degrees in sports science. He says, you can't win with those guys. Players get injured in every sport, at every level. Salah, Haaland, Palmer, etc. Just chill. Got another one
Does he have a
here.
degree in sports science?
Daniel says, I get he's a nice guy, but Eddie is horrible. Is maybe 10 goals enough for you? He's horrible. Well, Eddie's not our player no more. Boubacar says, we only have 1 attackers on our bench.
Yeah,
Ranieri.
that's the problem.
Everyone else is a defender. Please, Arteta, buy attacking players in the window. And Paul Smith says, Arteta always says, I've got to maximise every transfer window. I sent the same super chat this time last December and the December before. I do, sorry, one more here. Haaland is the best number 9, but City isn't scoring. That's because they're over-reliant on him. We're not saying to have an over-reliance on a player. I would just like to see Arsenal go out there and get a clinical striker. I think it would add a dimension to us. I think it would take some of the pressure off your Martinellis and your Sakas
Well,
and
who
wide
are you
players.
saying go and get then?
Out of the 2,
It doesn't have to be the two. It could be anyone.
But I think those are the two. I think the two that
Release
he's
clauses, you
identified
can just get it done.
are two that you could get. You could get Osimhen because Napoli's still desperate to sell him, even though he's on loan at Galatasaray. And you could put. I'm not 100% sure if you could get Gyökeres even with a release clause, because he might want to stay till the end of the season because he's still going to get that big move. So if it's out of the two of them, then Gyökeres.
What about you, Jim?
Just with his goal scoring record.
If you've got a choice, we're all in a position now. We need
an attacking.
We need an
player,
we need an attacking.
especially with Saka gone there. Well, the player that I've seen recently that I really liked was the Crystal Palace forward, the big guy Mateta. I thought
they're
he
not
looked.
going to sell Mateta.
Wrap this up.
They're not going to sell
I thought he looked good.
Wrap this up.
Something different.
Although I'm not Mateta.
He looked good.
Phase 5. We'll say
I liked
Mateta.
him.
I think he caused us all sorts of problems.
I got scared every time he went near
He
the
caused a
ball.
lot of problems.
You got in the
Yeah.
live chat. What's
He
going on
scored
in
a lot
there?
of problems. He didn't
He
score.
did miss a good chance
He
against
missed a
us.
sitter.
He scored against. He scored in the first minute.
You think phase 5 is
Crystal Palace?
You think phase 5 is
Scored.
Mateta?
He didn't score.
Would you
Mateta
take Rashford?
Sarr scored.
That first goal at Arsenal.
You're on about the game in the
It was
league.
a very good goal.
Yeah, it's a very good goal.
What about Rashford? Would you take Rashford?
No.
Wrap this up. Seriously, wrap this up. Christmas is done. We move. New Year.
The Rashford thing, we're going to have another debate on this, right? But Rashford, for me...
We need someone.
Do you know what we need a debate on? When Arteta said
you'd rather
we
have
knew
nothing than
the
Rashford, is
squad
that what we're
thin.
saying?
Let's do a video on that soon.
We'll do it.
You know what it is with the Rashford thing, right? If it was a loan from now till the end of the season, I'd consider it. If it's
You can't have a loan.
deal,
You can't have it as a
way.
loan.
How could you take a player? We had a Aubameyang here who was a top striker, right?
He wasn't towards the
Top
end.
level striker, and we got rid of him because of ill discipline.
Oh, we got rid of him
Why
so
are
he
we going to
couldn't
go and
score.
get this guy who's out clubbing in Dublin? He's over at the NBA thing.
Yeah.
He's down tools you can see for the team, right? He
Is
don't
that 'cause
never
you don't want to
tracks
be
back.
there, though, Rob?
But it is a reflection.
Would you
of
have
his
him
attitude.
Turkish?
Rob, come on, man. You're taking the mic. Don't ask me that question. Seriously.
Would you have him on loan?
I wouldn't.
You can't have him on
I
loan.
don't want to talk about Rashford.
Why can't
seriously.
you have him on loan?
Because we've already got two players in the
this is
Premier
too
League
much
on
Yeah,
loan.
but you can make Neto permanent.
Well, if you made him permanent, then yes. But you can't have more than two players from the Premier League
Yeah, so
on
they
loan.
can, so they can make.
So
I've
you'd
seen
have
another
to
one,
make-
Danny Olmo, there's a possibility.
Yeah,
But
because
he's not
registration.
striker,
He's not a
is he?
striker though, again, but he's...
There ain't a
Good
lot.
player.
When everybody turns round and says like, "Yeah, I don't want Rashford," or I want this," there ain't a lot out there. If I've been really honest,
I think
there isn't a lot out
I think
there.
you can get on loan Arda Güler or Brahim Diaz. I think honestly you can get on loan one of them two. That fills the void in the attacking areas around the striker without a cost. Then you go break one of the release clauses. There is options there in January. There is we cannot stop that. We have to pressure them into because Arteta talking about internal solutions when, like that super chat said, he's always maintained that capitalising and making improvements every window matters. We didn't do that enough in the summer, window 1, and he's talking about internal solutions, window 2. Make moves for one of those two strikers. Look for the loan options at Real Madrid because there's a couple players that could, come here and easily improve the options we have. And that's already two players there, bang. And, we go into February, crunch time in the league, crunch time Champions League, all of that, with a reinvigorated, new signings, new focal point. Saka can come back into the side with a new striker there. It looks a lot better than it is right now. Right now, it looks like, we've squeezed the lemon dry and what's left?
Okay, well, let me just run through the team again. It's Raya in goal, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel and Lewis Skelly. Rice, Havertz and Odegaard in the midfield. And up front, Martinelli, Trossard and Gabriel Jesus. On the bench, Neto, Zinchenko back on the bench. Kieran Tierney, Kivior, Calafiori on the bench as well. Jorginho, Partey, Mourinho and Wanyeri. So not a lot of attacking options on the bench.
We've got to get something.
Which again shows you that,
That's why we can't afford to
said.
get another one injured.
Sorry?
We can't afford another injury up in the forward players.
No, but we need to thicken the squad.
Yeah, we do.
Let's put Zinchenko, Calafiori up there then. You've got to play him.
Zinchenko could play
Yeah, few more super chats here. Joey says Isak is the guy
we're not
for
gonna
us,
get him in
but it won't happen till the summer.
Well, so
we are interested in the two you're talking about, so it's a pointless conversation. Well, you can't say it's pointless.
No,
It's
you
just
buy a striker in Jan, you buy a striker in the summer. Why is it acceptable to buy 6-7 centre backs over 3 years?
I agree, yeah.
6-7 goalkeepers over 3 years.
But
you
hold
ain't
on,
got no
hold on.
strike.
Come on, be a bit logical
Rob.
about this.
Come
Because
on.
now, if you buy
It's not-
Gorkarez, you're not buying another striker in the summer.
Why?
Right? Because Gorkarez is going to cost you 85 mil. Well, you're going to go and buy another one for 100 mil.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
You're
where's the
not
money
gonna
come
do-
from?
Come on, you know
Where's
that.
the money
With what
come
money?
from?
Where's the money come
Where are you
from?
going to get the
Oh
money
my
to
God.
do that?
Dude, we've got money. We have got money.
But you're not going to spend that money on two strikers of that calibre.
When you've spent money on 6 centre backs and 7 goalkeepers and 4 inverted left backs, it's
Which
okay for
club
us to
do
ask
you-
for 2 strikers now.
Turkish,
It's fine.
which club do you know that have gone out there and spent nearly 100 million each on 2 strikers that currently
Do
play?
you remember when
in their team?
Wenger did it with Lacazette and Oba because we didn't have a
No, but
striker?
they're not 100 million.
It wasn't 100. One was 40, one was 60.
Yeah,
but
no,
that
but
was
you're going to
relevant
get
to
one
that
guy's
time.
going to get one guy that's 85 million, right? And then you're going to go and get another guy's probably like 110 million.
Well, you're going to have to sell, won't you?
One of them guys can actually float in off
Nah,
the
that's
left.
not going to
we haven't
happen.
got really
Isak's
anyone
better
to
up
sell
front,
now.
and Isak is my choice if he was available. But in January, he's not. It
Martin
doesn't mean you
Jesus
turn your
would
attention
be,
away.
I know,
Funny
I know.
enough, T. Sales with the super chat, he says we need to find a £20 million striker because Arteta needs 70 million for another left back. Oh, he's jumping on your
Inverted
thing.
left back striker. That's what's
Cryptic
next.
Dino says those refs really screwed us with those red cards. We would have had a minimum of 5 points better off if not for those decisions. Right, guys. Sorry, fan base is delusional. This isn't FIFA, says Joey. Predictions.
We won't get a striker.
That's bang on, you know. I can't even
Come
lie.
on, man. Give me a prediction.
4-0.
4-0.
2-0.
2-0.
I think any team when their marquee signing has been Calvin Phillips, we've got to beat at least 3-4-0. So I'll go for 3.
I'll go 3-0 as well. Luke Douglas says we need to get Boniface or Girassi or Openda. Your guy, Openda. Not really lighting up this
There's
season.
2 release clauses there. That's all I care about because I don't like the who
Well,
question.
we
There's
need
just 2 there.
someone.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
do
when
need
you look at
someone.
that bench. We're going into Man United in the FA Cup, Tottenham, 2 semi-finals against Newcastle, plus Champions League games with nothing. Because I'm sorry, Wanyeri, as good as he is, isn't a forward. He's more of an attacking midfield player, really, with nothing up top.
Prazen says Sarah Girassi, £15 million release. Didn't they just sign him?
Yeah, it is.
I sort of very much doubt he'd leave, man. They just signed him for Dortmund, didn't they? So, like,
Yeah.
I couldn't see that. I couldn't see that happening. Anyway, guys, listen, we've come to the end of the show. Don't forget, we've got the watch along
one,
coming up.
It's a good one. Isn't it?
Good one, that. Good one. We've got the watch along coming up. Make sure you join us for the watch along. Of course, big game tonight. Arsenal taking on Ipswich. We really do need those 3 points. And of course, we'll be speaking to fans down there at the ground as well, getting their opinions on hopefully a big win. Chance for Arsenal to narrow the gap a little bit to 6 points and also to move into second place, get themselves in a position where they can threaten Liverpool. Liverpool on fire at the moment. There's still a long way to go. Let's see. Julian, thanks. Turkish, also to you, Lee, and thanks to you guys. And we'll see you back here soon.
Our number 6 is the king of Brazil. Our central half, he'll give you all. Our one at the back is Gabriel. Ole, ole.